I can't believe you're still awake, Daniel says as he walks into the kitchen at 2 in the morning. I don't look up from my laptop. Your investor call is at 9. If this forecast is wrong, they'll tear you apart. He smiles and kisses the top of my head. That's why I have you. I laugh softly. No. That's why you're brilliant. I just clean up the numbers. You do more than that, he says. You built half of this company with me. I close the spreadsheet and finally meet his eyes. We built it together. That's how it has always been. I handle the budgets, rewrite his presentations, calm nervous partners. When a shipment fails, I call suppliers. When investors panic, I draft reassurance emails. I tell myself this is love, standing beside him even in the dark hours. The next morning, he paces the living room while practicing his pitch. Slow down, I say. Pause after the revenue growth slide. Let it sink in. Like this? He asks. Exactly. And don't argue if they challenge you. Smile. Then redirect. He stops pacing and looks at me. What would I do without you? Probably sleep more, I tease. Later that week, I meet Maya for coffee. She stirs her drink and studies me. You look exhausted. I'm fine, I say. It's just a busy quarter. It's always a busy quarter, she replies. Do you even get paid for all this work? I shrug. It's our future. When we're married, it won't matter. Maya sighs. I just don't want you disappearing inside his dream. I'm not disappearing, I insist. I'm part of it. That night, Daniel comes home frustrated. They questioned my leadership, he mutters. What exactly did they say? I ask. That I'm scaling too fast. Then show them the customer retention data, I say quickly. And bring up the expansion strategy. I'll revise the slide deck. He watches me open my laptop again. You never complain. Why would I? I believe in you. He walks closer and lifts my chin. I love you. My chest warms every time he says it. I hold on to those words like they are proof that everything I give is worth it. Weeks pass in a blur of meetings and calls. Sometimes he comes home late and distracted. You okay? I ask one evening. Just pressure, he says shortly. I nod and tell myself pressure changes people, not love. At a company dinner, I stand beside him while investors praise his vision. You're lucky, one of them says to him. Not many founders grow this fast. Daniel smiles confidently. I know. I wait for him to mention me. He doesn't. I brush off the sting. He's just focused, I tell myself. When we get home, I wrap my arms around him. I'm proud of you. He exhales. We're close to something big. What kind of big? He hesitates for a second, then smiles. There's a board meeting tomorrow. Big changes are coming. I feel a rush of excitement. That's amazing. He kisses me again, and I whisper to myself, we're building this together. I have no idea those words are already breaking. I walk into the boardroom smiling. So this is the big surprise. Daniel doesn't smile back. He stands at the head of the table, stiff, distant. I notice a man I've never seen before sitting confidently in the center seat. His suit is sharp, his eyes colder than glass. Daniel clears his throat. This is Victor Lang. Victor gives me a slow nod. I've heard a lot about you. I force a polite smile. Good things, I hope. He doesn't answer. Instead, a woman beside him steps forward. Perfect posture. Perfect makeup. I'm Clara Whitmore, she says smoothly. Strategic advisor. I blink. Advisor. Daniel avoids my eyes. Clara will be helping us transition. Transition to what? I ask lightly. No one laughs. Daniel gestures for me to sit. I remain standing. Let's begin, Victor says calmly. We're restructuring leadership. I glance at Daniel. Restructuring. You said this was good news. It is, he replies quickly. For the company. For us too, right? I ask, my voice soft. Silence fills the room. Daniel inhales. Our engagement is over. I stare at him. What? This is business, he says flatly. Not personal. My ears ring. Not personal. I repeat. We're getting married. Victor folds his hands. Emotional entanglements create instability. I turn to Daniel. Tell me this is a joke. It's not, he says. Investors need strong leadership. I've been leading with you, I argue. Every pitch. Every crisis. Clara finally speaks. Your involvement hasn't been formalized. I look at her. I built half those strategies. Daniel's jaw tightens. You're too emotional to stay involved at this level. My chest tightens. Too emotional. Victor nods slightly. We need calculated decisions. I feel heat rush to my face. So I'm suddenly a liability. Daniel avoids my gaze again. It's what's best. For who? I demand. For you. Clara slides a folder toward me. There's also the matter of share dilution. I open it with shaking hands. Legal terms blur together. What is this? I whisper. Victor answers calmly. A technical clause triggered by new investment. I flip pages faster. My voting power, this can't be right. It's standard, Clara says. It wasn't there before, I argue. Daniel finally looks at me. It was always there. You just didn't read closely. The words hit harder than a slap. So you planned this, I say slowly. It's strategy, he replies. Strategy. My voice cracks. You proposed to me while planning to push me out. This isn't about us, he insists. It's exactly about us. I shout. Victor's tone turns sharp. Control yourself. I swallow humiliation. Was any of it real? I ask Daniel quietly. The late nights. The promises. He stays silent. Answer me, I whisper. He looks past me instead of at me. That silence tells me everything. Clara adjusts her sleeve, a faint smirk touching her lips. I close the folder carefully. My hands tremble, but I refuse to let them see me break. You think I'm emotional? I say softly. You have no idea what I'm capable of. Daniel exhales. Don't make this harder than it needs to be. You already did, I reply. Victor stands. Security will escort you out. I laugh bitterly. I don't need security. I know the way. I helped design this office. No one stops me as I walk to the door. Right before I leave, I turn back. You traded loyalty for power. Daniel's expression doesn't change. The hallway feels longer than ever. Every step burns. I step into the elevator alone. As the doors close, my reflection stares back at me, shocked, humiliated, awake. That is the moment something inside me shifts. That is the moment I stop loving blindly. That is my breaking point. I sit on the floor of my apartment, staring at the wall. The silence feels louder than the boardroom. My phone buzzes. Maya's name flashes across the screen. I answer without speaking. Tell me you're not alone, she says immediately. I'm alone, I reply. She exhales sharply. He really did it. Yes. He ended it. Just like that. Just like that. There's a pause. Then she says what I don't want to hear. He used you. No, I whisper. It wasn't like that. Then what was it like? She demands. Because from where I'm standing, he took your ideas, your time, your loyalty, and replaced you. He was under pressure, I say weakly. Investors can be ruthless. And so can he, she shoots back. I press my palm to my forehead. You didn't see his face, Maya. He looked trapped. Stop defending him, she says firmly. Did he defend you? I don't answer. She softens her voice. Did he fight for you at all? The silence between us feels like a confession. I loved him, I say finally. I know, she replies. But love isn't supposed to make you disposable. After we hang up, I stare at the engagement ring still on my finger. I twist it slowly. Was any of it real? I whisper to the empty room. My chest aches, but tears don't come. I feel hollow instead. I open my laptop without thinking. My hands move on their own. The company's social media page is full of updates. Then I see it. A photo from tonight's charity gala. Daniel stands in a black tuxedo, confident, polished. Clara stands beside him in a silver dress, her hand lightly resting on his arm. They look powerful. They look united. The caption reads, "Leadership for a new era." My stomach turns. I zoom in on the photo. He's smiling. Not trapped. Not conflicted. Smiling. So that's the new era, I murmur. My phone buzzes again. A message from an unknown number. You'll understand someday. D. I laugh bitterly. Understand what? That I was a stepping stone. I type back, then delete the words. I won't beg. I won't ask why. I won't give him the satisfaction of my pain. I stand up and walk to the mirror. My reflection looks pale but steady. You gave him everything, I tell myself softly. And he called you emotional. I think about every late night. Every sacrifice. Every time I chose his dream over my comfort. Love didn't blind me. I blinded myself. I remove the ring slowly and place it on the table. That's enough, I say out loud. My voice sounds stronger than I feel. I look back at the photo on my screen. They think power belongs to them, I whisper. My heartbeat steadies. If he wants power and money, I say quietly, I'll show him what real power looks like. The pain inside me shifts. It doesn't disappear. It hardens. I close the laptop. Tonight, I lost my fiancé. I lost my place in the company I helped build. I lost the future I thought was mine. But as I stand there in the silence, I realize something else. I didn't lose myself. And that is the one thing I will never let him take. Tomorrow, I stop crying. Tomorrow, I start rebuilding. Not for him. For me, I don't hire broken people, Mr. Adrian Cole says as he studies my resume. Then don't, I reply calmly. Hire someone angry. He leans back in his chair. Why should I? Because I know how startups collapse, I say. And I know how to stop it. He watches me for a long moment. You were engaged to Daniel Hayes. Yes. And now? Now I'm available for better opportunities. A slow smile touches his lips. Good answer. I start the next morning. The office is small. Half the desks are empty. The product is decent but unfocused. Adrian calls me into his office on day 3. Tell me what's wrong with our pitch, he says, sliding a folder toward me. It's emotional, I reply after scanning it. Investors don't buy passion. They buy returns. He nods. Fix it. I spend hours rewriting projections. That evening, he stops by my desk. You're still here. I don't sleep much, I say. Because of him. Because I have work to do. A week later, he hands me a contract draft. What do you see? Risk, I answer. The exit clause favors them. He raises an eyebrow. Most people miss that. I used to miss things, I say quietly. I don't anymore. He studies me carefully. Pain can make you powerful if you let it. I meet his gaze. I'm letting it. Days turn into weeks. I sit in on negotiations. Lower the equity offer, I whisper to Adrian during one meeting. They're bluffing. He clears his throat. We'll adjust the equity to 5%. The investors hesitate, then agree. Afterward, Adrian chuckles. You read them well. I had practice, I say. At night, I stop staring at old photos. Instead, I read financial reports. I follow Daniel's company closely. Revenue up. Public image polished. Clara beside him at every event. I don't feel heartbreak anymore. I feel calculation. One evening, I approach Adrian. I want to invest, I tell him. In us? He asks. In multiple places. He folds his hands. Explain. I want minority shares in Hayes Technologies. His eyes sharpen. That's bold. I know their structure, I say. I know their weaknesses. And your motive? Growth, I answer smoothly. He studies me but doesn't push further. Use a proxy firm, he advises. Quiet moves last longer. I already contacted one. He smiles faintly. You're learning. I'm evolving. Weeks later, confirmation emails arrive. Small percentages. Tiny footholds. No one notices. During a strategy meeting, Adrian asks, what drives you? Control. I reply honestly. Revenge. I pause. No. Preparedness. He nods slowly. Good. Revenge burns fast. Strategy lasts. I look at the city skyline through the office window. I don't cry anymore. I don't replay his silence in that boardroom. Instead, I replay numbers. Votes. Percentages. Leverage. I whisper to myself, never be powerless again. The woman who begged for love is gone. In her place stands someone sharper, colder, focused. And this time, I'm building something that belongs only to me. Have you heard? One of my old industry contacts whispers over the phone. Victor's tightening the leash. On Daniel. I ask calmly. Board wants faster returns. Aggressive expansion. It's messy. I lean back in my chair. And Clara? She's pushing risky partnerships. Employees aren't happy. Thank you, I say softly, ending the call. Later, I step into Adrian's office. You look pleased, he notes. I have confirmation, I reply. They're unstable. He folds his arms. Pressure reveals cracks. I want to accelerate our launch. That soon. Yes. While they're distracted. He studies me. This isn't personal. It's timing, I answer evenly. 2 weeks later, we unveil our competing product. At the press conference, a reporter asks me, are you targeting Hayes Technologies? I smile slightly. We're targeting opportunity. Another reporter smirks. Daniel Hayes called your launch ambitious but premature. Any response? I meet the camera steadily. Innovation always makes someone uncomfortable. That night, clips flood social media. Daniel stands confidently in an interview. Imitation is common in this industry, he says smoothly. We're not concerned. But I see it. The tightness in his jaw. The flicker in his eyes. He's worried, I tell Adrian as we watch the replay. Good, Adrian replies. Worried leaders make mistakes. A week later, I attend a technology gala. The ballroom glows with cameras and quiet judgment. I feel eyes on me as I walk in. Then I see him. Daniel stands near the stage, speaking to investors. Clara stands beside him again, poised and polished. Our eyes meet across the room. He excuses himself and walks toward me. You came, he says. I was invited, I reply. He studies me carefully. You look different. I tilt my head slightly. Different how? Colder, he says quietly. You taught me how to survive. His jaw tightens. This isn't survival. It's competition. Business, I correct gently. He glances around. You're making noise. So are your employees, I reply. I hear morale is low. His eyes narrow. You're listening too closely. I listen carefully now. He lowers his voice. Victor thinks you're trying to provoke us. Victor should focus on his own problems. A flicker of irritation crosses his face. You think this is a game? No, I say calmly. Games are emotional. This is strategy. Clara approaches, her smile thin. Enjoying the spotlight. I earned it, I answer. She looks at Daniel. We're needed. He hesitates, then turns back to me. Don't underestimate us. I never underestimate anyone again, I say softly. As he walks away, I notice something I've never seen before. Uncertainty. Later that evening, Adrian joins me by the balcony. How did it feel? He asks. Balanced, I reply. Balanced. For the first time, he wasn't in control. Adrian nods approvingly. Power shifts quietly before it's obvious. I watch Daniel across the room. He laughs at something an investor says, but his shoulders seem tighter. He glances toward me again. This time, I don't look away. For the first time since that boardroom, I don't feel small. I feel steady. And I realize something important. His empire isn't collapsing loudly. It's cracking slowly. And I'm the one applying pressure. Victor Lang is under investigation, Maya says over the phone. Financial misconduct. It's all over the news. I open the article and scan it quickly. Unrelated to us. Yes. But investors are panicking. I smile faintly. Good. By afternoon, market alerts flood my screen. Hayes Technologies stock drops 8%. Then 12%. I walk into Adrian's office without knocking. You've seen the news, I say. He nods. Victor's empire is wobbling. I want to increase our position. He studies me carefully. It will be expensive. I'm aware. This is the moment you've been waiting for, he says quietly. Yes. He leans forward. If you move now, there's no turning back. I'm not turning back. He holds my gaze for a long second, then nods. I'll back you. That night, I sit at my desk reviewing acquisition confirmations. Proxy firms. Layered investments. Incremental increases. Small moves that add up to power. I whisper to myself, stay quiet. Stay precise. 2 weeks later, I request attendance at the Hayes board meeting. Daniel's assistant sounds confused. You're not on the executive list. I'm a shareholder, I reply calmly. Check the registry. Silence. Then, I'll confirm. When I walk into the boardroom again, it feels different. This time, I am not empty-handed. Daniel freezes when he sees me. What are you doing here? He demands. I take a seat without asking permission. Good morning. Victor isn't present. His chair remains empty. Clara sits stiffly, eyes sharp. One board member clears his throat. We've reviewed the updated shareholder structure. Daniel looks around. What structure? I slide a folder across the table. What is this? He asks. Ownership disclosures, I answer evenly. He flips it open. His face drains of color. You, he says slowly. Yes. Clara leans forward. This can't be accurate. It's verified, I reply. A board member speaks carefully. She now holds significant voting power. Daniel slams the folder shut. What are you doing? Business, I say calmly. His voice lowers. You're trying to take control. I'm exercising my rights. Clara's tone sharpens. This is retaliation. No, I say. This is investment. Daniel stares at me like he's seeing a stranger. You planned this. I learned from the best. One board member shifts uncomfortably. Given recent stock volatility and investor concerns, leadership stability is under review. Daniel looks around the table. You can't be serious. I fold my hands neatly. I propose restructuring executive leadership. Clara's eyes widen slightly. On what grounds? Declining stock value. Employee dissatisfaction. Strategic missteps. Daniel's voice cracks with anger. You're exaggerating. Am I? I ask softly. Or are you distracted? Silence fills the room. For the first time, I see something new in his eyes. Not arrogance. Not control. Fear. You wouldn't destroy this, he says quietly. You helped build it. I'm not destroying it, I reply. I'm protecting my investment. A board member clears his throat again. We will schedule a formal vote. Daniel looks at me like he's searching for the woman who once defended him. She's gone, I say gently. Clara crosses her arms, but I notice her confidence slipping. Daniel exhales slowly. You've changed. Yes, I answer. He shakes his head. This isn't you. I stand, gathering my folder. You're right. The old me would have begged. I meet his eyes steadily. This version negotiates. As I walk toward the door, I feel it clearly. The shift. The balance tilting. For the first time, Daniel isn't the one holding power. I am. Wait. Daniel's voice follows me down the hallway. I don't stop walking. I need to talk to you, he says, catching up. We already talked, I reply calmly. Not like this. I turn slowly. You have 2 minutes. He runs a hand through his hair. He looks tired. Not polished. Not powerful. Just tired. You think I wanted this? He asks. Wanted what? I reply. Power. Control. A convenient breakup. He flinches. Victor gave me an ultimatum. I cross my arms. I'm listening. He said investors wouldn't commit if I looked distracted. He said personal attachments weaken leadership. And you believed him. He controls capital, Daniel snaps. Without him, the company would have collapsed. So you chose the company. I chose survival, he insists. At my expense. His voice lowers. I thought I could fix it later. I laugh softly. Fix what? The humiliation. The betrayal. You don't understand the pressure I was under. I step closer. Then explain it to me. He said if I didn't cut ties publicly, he'd pull funding. Employees would lose jobs. Years of work would disappear. So you sacrificed me, I say quietly. I sacrificed us to protect everything we built. My chest tightens for a moment. The word we still stings. You didn't fight for me, I say. He looks down. I thought I was being strategic. No, I reply. You were being afraid. He swallows hard. Maybe I was weak. The admission hangs between us. I search his face. I see regret there. Real regret. Why didn't you tell me? I ask. Because I knew you'd tell me to walk away from him. I would have, I say. And I couldn't risk it. Then you already made your choice. He steps closer. I never stopped loving you. Love doesn't hide in boardrooms, I say softly. Love stands up. He closes his eyes briefly. I thought once we secured everything, I could bring you back. Like a position you eliminated. That's not fair. Neither was what you did. Silence settles between us again. I see what you're doing now, he says. You're dismantling me. I'm protecting myself. You could have destroyed the company already. But I didn't, I reply. Because I still care about what I built. He studies me. You're not doing this for revenge. No, I admit. I'm doing this because I'll never let anyone corner me again. He exhales slowly. I was wrong. Yes, I say simply. His voice softens. Is there any way back? I feel the old ache try to rise. I push it down. There's no back, I tell him. He nods slowly, like he finally understands. I'm sorry, he says. I know, I reply. For a brief second, I let myself see the man I once loved. Then I remember the silence in that boardroom. I step away. This time, I say quietly, I'm choosing me. And I walk away again. But this time, I don't feel broken. I feel free. The boardroom is silent when the voting begins. One by one, voices echo. Yes. No. Abstain. I sit straight, hands folded. Adrian leans toward me. You're steady. I have to be, I whisper. The chairman clears his throat. With current shareholder influence and presented evidence of financial mismanagement, especially regarding recent partnerships, we will proceed with executive review. Daniel stands abruptly. This is a setup. I look at him calmly. It's documentation. Clara doesn't look at me. She keeps adjusting her sleeve. You dug into my records, Daniel says. You waited for weakness. I waited for truth, I reply. Victor isn't here. He sent a lawyer instead. The lawyer speaks coldly. Mr. Lang will be withdrawing active investment support. Daniel's face tightens. What? Market confidence is unstable, the lawyer continues. Risk exposure is unacceptable. Daniel turns toward me. You coordinated this. I coordinated my protection. I correct. A board member clears his throat. We proceed to vote on leadership removal. Daniel's voice rises. You can't be serious. The chairman raises a hand. Order. Clara finally speaks. This is about optics, not performance. I meet her gaze. It's about accountability. Votes are called. My heart beats slowly. Not fast. Controlled. Yes. 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 Daniel's fists clench. The final tally is announced. Majority vote confirms removal of Daniel Hayes as Chief Executive Officer. Silence. Daniel doesn't speak for a long moment. Then he laughs bitterly. You planned every piece. I learned from you, I say softly. Clara stands quickly. I resign from advisory duties effective immediately. Self-preservation. I ask. She doesn't answer. She walks out. Daniel watches her go, then turns back to me. You really want to see me fall this badly? I wanted to see you honest, I reply. His shoulders slump slightly. Media representatives outside begin shouting through the glass doors. Is it true? One reporter yells. Leadership changes confirmed. The PR manager nods. Official statement will follow. Daniel runs a hand through his hair. For the first time, I see real exhaustion on his face. This is how it ends? He asks quietly. This is how consequences begin, I reply. He studies me. You're not celebrating. No, I say. I'm not. Why? He asks. You won. I shake my head. Winning and losing are complicated. He exhales slowly. Victor will blame me for everything. He already did, I reply. Daniel looks at the empty chair where Victor should have been. He used me. You let him, I say gently. The words hurt him. I can see it. Media flashes go off outside. Phones recording through glass. Daniel straightens slightly. The company will survive. Yes, I say. If you step back peacefully. He nods slowly. You've become very dangerous. Only to people who underestimate me. He steps closer. I still love you. The words hang heavy between us. I know, I reply. But, he asks. But I can't trust that love anymore. He nods. Fair. He walks past me toward the exit. For a moment, I almost reach for him. I don't. I stay standing as he leaves the boardroom. Adrian comes beside me. How do you feel? Heavy, I admit. And lighter. Victory and sadness? He asks. Yes. He smiles slightly. That's what real power feels like. I watch Daniel disappear through the hallway of flashing cameras. I don't cry. I don't smile either. I just breathe slowly. The king has fallen. But I don't feel like a conqueror. I feel like someone who finally learned how to stand alone. I still can't believe this is your office now, Maya says, standing near the glass wall. Interim office, I correct her. Titles are temporary. She laughs softly. Power isn't. I sit behind the CEO desk, fingers resting on the polished surface. It feels heavier than I expected, I say. Responsibility usually does, Adrian says as he enters. Not power. Responsibility. I nod. Employees are already watching me. They always were, he replies. They just didn't know it. I stand and walk toward the conference room where department heads wait. One of them speaks first. Are you planning massive layoffs? No, I answer immediately. We're restructuring productivity, not people. Another asks, then what changes? Transparency, I say. Better pay scales. Clear promotion paths. Someone mutters, that's expensive. I smile slightly. So is losing talent. Silence follows. Finally, one manager says, we didn't expect this from you. Why not? I ask. You were associated with Daniel. I was also the one writing half his strategy reports, I reply. That shuts down further arguments. Later, I walk through the office floor. People watch me. Some whisper. I stop near a group of junior engineers. One of them says nervously, congratulations, I prefer my name, I reply. Titles make conversations stiff. He smiles slightly. We heard you want innovation teams to have direct funding. Yes, I say. If your idea works, you shouldn't wait for approval chains. Another asks, why are you changing things so fast? Because slow change protects old mistakes, I reply. I learned that the hard way. That evening, I meet Maya for dinner. You're scary now, she jokes. Good, I reply. You don't feel angry anymore. I did, I admit. But anger is expensive. She leans forward. Revenge? No. She smiles. Good. Later, Adrian calls me into his office. You're doing well, he says. I'm trying. He watches me carefully. You know Daniel is struggling financially. I know. You could buy him out completely, he says. I pause. I could. You won't. No. Why? Because I don't want his fall to define me, I say quietly. He nods slowly. That's growth. I look out the window at the city lights. I think about everything I lost. Then everything I gained. I don't want revenge anymore, I tell Adrian. What do you want? He asks. Success, I say. Control of my own future. He smiles. That's how empires are really built. That night, I sit alone in my new office. I check company reports. Profits rising. Employee satisfaction improving. Market confidence returning. My phone lights up with a message from Daniel. You're doing incredible work. D. I stare at it for a long moment. Then I type a response. I know. I don't send anything else. I set the phone down. I touch the desk softly. I built this, I whisper. Not with revenge. Not with hatred. With survival. And that is how I own the throne. I need to see you, Daniel texts. I stare at the message for a long moment. Then I reply. Where? The old rooftop cafe. I arrive first. The wind is colder than I remember. You came, he says behind me. I said I would, I reply. He sits across from me. He looks different. Tired. Less confident. You look successful, he says quietly. I am, I reply. So do you. He gives a weak smile. Not really. A waiter approaches. Coffee. For me, I say. Black. Daniel shakes his head. Nothing. The waiter leaves. He exhales slowly. I lost everything. I nod. You traded love for power. He looks down. I thought I could have both. You couldn't, I say gently. I know that now. Silence sits between us for a moment. He finally speaks again. I still love you. My chest tightens slightly. The old ache returns, but softer. Controlled. I know, I say. You're not angry anymore, he says. I was, I admit. Now I'm clear. Clear about what? About who I am without you. He swallows. I regret hurting you. I believe you. That's it, he asks. No yelling. No revenge speeches. I already won, I say calmly. He frowns. You really think this was about winning? No, I correct. It was about survival. He leans forward. I wasn't strong enough. You were afraid, I say. That's not better. No, I agree. But it's honest. He watches me carefully. You changed. I had to. I miss who you were, he says quietly. I don't, I reply. He blinks. That hurts. I loved who you were before greed changed you, I say softly. He closes his eyes briefly. If I could go back. You can't, I interrupt gently. He nods slowly. I know. He looks at me like he is memorizing my face. I want another chance, he says. I don't answer immediately. Instead, I watch the city traffic below. I can't go back to being someone who waits for love, I say. I understand. But I can forgive, I add. His eyes lift slightly. That's something. I'm not coming back, I say clearly. He nods again. I deserved that. The waiter brings my coffee. I take a slow sip. Are you happy? He asks suddenly. I think about it. Yes, I say. Not in the way I expected. But in a real way. He smiles faintly. You deserve that. We sit there for a few minutes without talking. Then he stands. Thank you for meeting me. I owed you closure, I say. He hesitates. Can I still call you? Yes, I reply. But I might not answer. He nods. Fair. He walks toward the stairs. Halfway down, he stops. I really did love you. I know, I say quietly. He doesn't turn back. I stay on the rooftop alone, finishing my coffee. The wind feels lighter. The pain doesn't disappear. It just stops controlling me. And for the first time, I realize love doesn't have to mean staying. 1 year already, Maya says, standing beside me at the annual industry summit. Time moves faster when you're busy winning, I reply. She laughs. You sound dangerous when you talk like that. I am dangerous to old mistakes, I say. Adrian walks over. The company report looks excellent. Thriving. I ask. Dominating in 3 markets, he says. You did that. I built a team, I correct. You led them, he replies. I smile slightly. Leadership sounds better. He nods. Confidence looks good on you. I glance across the conference hall. Investors, competitors, journalists. Power feels quieter now. More stable. My phone buzzes. Unknown number. I open the message. You look powerful tonight. D. I don't reply. Maya notices. Daniel. Yes. You going to answer? No. She smiles. Good. Later, I see him across the hall. He is talking to a small group of investors. Smaller company logo on his suit lapel. He looks older. Calmer. Less aggressive energy. Our eyes meet. He walks toward me slowly. You came, he says. I was invited, I reply. You look happy, he says. I am. He nods. Good. You deserve that. You too, I say. He sighs. Small company. Honest work. It's different. Better. I ask. Harder, he admits. Less power games. That's growth, I say. He studies me. You really own everything now. Yes. The company is stronger than ever, he says. I read the reports. I know, I reply. You always watch from a distance. He doesn't deny it. I never wanted to destroy you, I say quietly. I know, he replies. You wanted to survive me. That's fair. Silence passes between us. I lost you, he says. You lost who I was, I correct gently. He nods slowly. I see that now. He looks around the hall. Are you ever lonely at that level? No, I answer. Busy people don't have time to feel lonely. He smiles faintly. You learned to be strong. I learned to be free. He takes a slow breath. I'm proud of you. Thank you, I say. He doesn't try to touch me. He just nods once and steps back. No drama. No pleading. Just closure. Maya joins me again. That was peaceful. Yes, I say. Not the revenge stories people expected, she jokes. I didn't want revenge, I reply. What did you want? Peace, I say. And power over my own choices. Adrian approaches. You're giving the closing speech tonight. I nod. I know. Later, I stand on the stage, looking at the audience. Flashbulbs. Cameras. Powerful people watching me. I hold the microphone. I thought losing him broke me, I say. My voice is steady. But it built me. I pause. He chose money and power. I breathe slowly. I chose strength. I look across the crowd. Daniel is standing in the back. I continue. And now, I own both the company and the peace he will never take from me again. Applause fills the room. But inside, I feel something quieter than victory. Contentment. Not loud. Just real. I step off the stage knowing my story is no longer about him. It is about me. I think you should leave the country, Adrian says. I look up from my laptop. That's sudden. Not sudden, he replies. Smart. New markets. New start. Maya nods beside him. He's right. You need distance. Or closure, I say quietly. Maya shakes her head. You don't owe him your heart. I owe myself peace, I reply. Adrian slides a contract across my desk. Partnership opportunities abroad. Expansion funding. Total independence. I read the papers slowly. You want me to disappear? I ask. I want you to grow somewhere they can't control you, Adrian says. Maya smiles. You're not running. You're leveling up. My phone buzzes. Daniel's name appears on the screen. I think that's your answer, Maya says. I text him. Meet me tonight. Same place. He replies immediately. I'll be there. That night, I stand outside the old park fountain. He arrives early. You came, he says. I said I would. He looks thinner. Tired again. You're leaving, he says, not asking. Yes. Abroad. Yes. He nods slowly. You deserve freedom. I sit beside the fountain. I thought about revenge. And? He asks. It felt empty, I reply. He exhales slowly. You're stronger than I was. I don't know about that. He looks at me. You rebuilt yourself while I was falling apart. Your fall was your own, I say gently. Silence stretches between us. I still love you, he says. I know. He swallows. Do you hate me? No. Why not? Because hate keeps you tied to someone, I say. I don't want that anymore. He nods, eyes wet but controlled. Can I ask something selfish? Ask. Did I ruin your future? I shake my head. You changed it. Is that better? He asks quietly. I don't know yet. He smiles faintly. Honest answer. I learned something from you, I say. What? Love shouldn't make me small. He looks down. I did that. You were scared, I reply. He nods slowly. I was. The wind moves through the trees. I want you to be happy, he says. I'm choosing that, I reply. He takes a deep breath. Can I still think about you? Yes, I say. But you have to move forward too. He laughs quietly. You sound like Maya. She's been good for me. I can see that, he says. I stand slowly. This is goodbye, not punishment. He stands too. I know. I look at him one last time. I see regret. Love. Acceptance. I forgive you, I say softly. But I will not return. He closes his eyes. I understand. Some lessons cost too much, I add. He nods. I was one of those lessons. I turn to leave. Wait, he says. I stop but don't turn around. Thank you for loving me, he says. I smile slightly. Thank you for teaching me how to survive. I walk away slowly. My phone vibrates. Adrian's message. Flight details confirmed. Maya's message. Proud of you. I breathe in deeply. No anger. No regret. Just forward movement. I whisper to myself, I choose me. And for the first time, that choice feels powerful, not lonely.